Hi, my name is Reese Thomas. I am a recovering addict and I have been clean now for coming up to 4 years on the 22nd of January 2017. Woohoo! So we can recover. I want to do this video to share my story and hopefully inspire others, whoever might come across it. Um, Obviously, I wasn't always an addict. But it stems back from when I was a child. Um, from the day I was born until I was 9, I had an addict dad. He was nasty. He was horrible. He was a predator, basically. Um, I went through things that no child should ever have to go through. But for 9 years of my life, I did. He was very abusive, very horrible. Not just towards me, to my mum and my sisters. Uh, just awful things. The fear of me, I still, when I think back at it now, I get that fear, that anxiety that comes with it. I remember hiding in my bed like a scared little boy when I used to hear him come upstairs. I remember him saying that when he used to beat me, men don't cry, men don't show feelings. So obviously I started to shut my feelings down and block everything out. I was told if I told anyone, then the repercussions would be even worse for me. So I stopped talking. That went on for 9 years of my life. When I hit 9, um, my mum left my dad, thank God. But the damage was already done to me. I was scarred. I used to have nightmares. I used to fear men. Um, then I started rebelling. I decided that my dad is no longer around, so I'm going to take my power back. I'm going to take control of my life. But obviously, I took the wrong way. I turned to drugs. I started smoking weed first, and I ran a drink on the weekends with my friends. And don't forget, I'm 9 years old now. That's when I should be now playing. Even started off with just a bit of fun. Life was, I thought I was just doing what normal kids do at that age, because it was the norm for me. Um, Went on for years. Got to 16 to 18. Started going clubbing. Went on to ecstasy. Speed for when I went out clubbing. On the weekends, obviously I was drinking lots more, smoking more dope. But at the time I didn't see a problem with that. My family and my friends tried telling me that I was going a bit too far with it all. But as a rebellious adolescent I should say, I pushed it all away and said, whatever, you don't know me, you know fuck all about me, blah blah blah, as we all do. Years went on, carried on, getting more and more and more into my drink and my drugs. I found myself, I couldn't keep jobs. I was losing all my jobs all the time. Um, Everything in my life was falling apart. It was getting worse, but I still didn't see a problem with that. Then I started stealing. I went on to the stealing stage because obviously I was losing my jobs. I couldn't fund my habit, which I didn't know was a habit at the time. I used to rob off my poor mum. I used to take money out of her account, out of her purse, off my sisters. Then I started breaking into houses, robbing from shops, all stuff like that. I did some horrible things, anything that I could do to survive. But then when I got to like 21, 22, I had my first daughter, and I swore down that I would try my hardest to stop everything. And I did try, but it didn't work. My daughter went through hell with me, even though I tried to keep it away from her. I thought I was keeping it away from her, and she didn't see nothing. I was so wrong because of the damage it had on her. And I ended up losing my kids, and they got adopted. So then I just spiraled out of control. My mum used to try and help me, bless her. But what we didn't know at the time, that she was just enabling me. So whenever I was going off the rails and I wanted this, she would buy my drink or give me money for my drugs just to keep me balanced. And one day she just disowned me. She moved away with her partner and left me, which I don't blame her. At the time, I was very angry at her, and I blamed her. I blamed my partner for taking my mum away from me. Blah blah blah. All of that. It's the blame game. Never. It wasn't my fault. It was everyone else's fault. Social services' fault. My ex-partner's fault. My mum's fault. My sister's fault. My family. My friends. It was all of their fault. Nothing to do with me. I was just a normal lad. Blah blah blah. I lost homes. I slept on the streets and bus stops. I did whatever I could to survive. I done some things that I'm not proud of. I won't go into details about. Very shameful, very disgusting, very hurtful. I was very angry. I was bitter. I felt alone. I was empty. Then I went into supported living, which I started to turn my life around a little bit. Went to college, started doing some qualifications. But boom, just went back into that rut of taking drink and drugs again. Got into a fight one night in my supported living when I was pissed up on a bottle of vodka, and they had to throw me out. They helped me get a little flat, and that's when the realisation came that I was fucked. I would have numerous suicide attempts, tried jumping off bridges, jumping in front of cars, overdoses. I was a self-harmer. I used to cut my wrists when I was angry. I had a couple of spats in mental hospitals, but it just didn't seem to work. I was my rock bottom. I remember sat in my flat one day, my mum came to visit me, and I was in my dressing gown, and I was a mess. I had a big beard and all of this, and I had bath for days, and I just broke down crying. I want my life back. I want to be me again. And it broke my mum's heart. It really did break my mum's heart. And I'll never forget her face and her walking away crying because she had to leave me because there's nothing she could do. I went to hospital because I was weighing 7 stone, maybe just over 7 stone, and I was told by the doctors that if I do not get help, I will die before 2013 Christmas. That's the reality of my addiction. That's how far it gone. I was smoking crack. I was on anything possible you can think of. I was drinking 4 litres of vodka a day. That's without my strong side as well, just to function in society. I had a bad reputation of being a thug. Crazy Reese, they used to call me, which I hated because I wasn't really. I was just lost. I was lonely. I was desperate. I was scared. I was vulnerable. But I didn't want to admit that at the time, so on came the masks of being the hard guy. I can push everyone away, fuck off, you don't know me, all of that. And I just had enough, and I wanted to die, and I did, and I took an overdose, and I was drifting out, and that's when I heard a voice. My grandfather actually came to see me, visit me, who'd passed away, and he said to me, I remember it clear as day. I closed my eyes and I was like, it's not time for you yet. That was it, and I woke up. In the next couple of weeks, my care manager managed to get me into a rehab, emergency referral, and I went into rehab, and that's where my journey began. It was hard because I had to leave everything that I knew and everyone that I loved, even though I had no one, nothing. I had nothing, no one. It's still hard because they were there and I was over there. I got into rehab. And the first 6-7 weeks, I shut down because it wasn't what I was expecting. I was expecting rehab to stop drinking drugs and that's it, I'm fine. But I was wrong. It was actually diving into my past and looking at all the shit and heartache and taking responsibility for all the hurt I've caused. Dealing with all the pain of my dad, all that. It was fucking hard. And for the first 6-7 weeks, I shut down. Didn't talk, didn't want to do it. Nope, didn't want to do it. Only went there to try and get my kids back. And then while I was in there, I had a phone call off my solicitor saying that my kids had been adopted. And that was it. I hit the fuck it button and I thought, what's the point of this? I got nothing to live for. I packed my bags, my care manager was on her way to come pick me up. And then something hit me. And I realised what I'm going back to. A deadbeat flat. No friends, no family, no nothing, no opportunities for life or anything. And I'd probably die. And I didn't want to die deep down. And that's when the penny dropped. And I started working hard in my recovery. I done 3 months in-house treatment, which I worked fucking really hard for, and it was very hard. I mean, from the time I woke up to the time I go to bed, it was constantly working on myself, looking at myself, dealing with all my shame, my guilt, my regret around my kids, accepting the fact that I can't change my past, but I can better my future. I moved into a supported living home then, in one of their dry houses, where I'd done a 2-year spat there, which was a fantastic opportunity because I was able to try and learn to live my life without drinking drugs, without fighting, without stealing, without manipulating people, all of that. And that was even harder. I thought it was hard in-house treatment. Being in the real world and trying to stay clean and sober every day, now that's where the battle began. It was hard. Started after a year being there. I'd got myself a job. I became a support worker for adults with learning disability, which I only got that because I did volunteer work first, working with brain injury, just to see if I could handle that, see how I coped with that, and I loved it. And that's when I found my calling. I'm destined to help people. That's what I believe my calling is. 2 years down the line then, I met my lovely wife after a few dates of just going out and enjoying dating. I've never dated before. So it was nice to go out and go and have a meal with someone, some great company, and if nothing happened, then I made a friend. That was what it was about for me. Finding myself, finding out who I am. I did dance classes, art classes, karate. I went back into karate and kickboxing, which I loved. I hit the gym. I started building up a new life for me. Like I said then, I met my wife. Well, my wife now. We started dating. I was open and honest with her about all my past and everything like that, and she accepted me for who I am. We moved really quick in our relationship. We were together for 9 months, I believe, and I proposed when we were on holidays, our first family holiday. And she said yeah. And then 9 months later, we're married. And we have our own home. I'm now working as a senior sport worker for mental health, which I absolutely love. I have a lovely little life with family and friends. I have all my family back. And new friends and old friends. I do not have my daughters back in my life. That's one of my consequences of my past, and I have to live with that every day. But I have letterbox contacts, which keeps me updated, let me know how they're getting on in life. And all I've ever wanted for my kids was to be happy, safe and well, and they are doing amazing in life. So I can sleep at night knowing that. I still have to live with that guilt and that shame. I'm now coming up to 4 years clean, as I said at the beginning of the video, and my life is just completely changed around. So the moral of the story of this video is, if you watch it, I don't know how many people are going to watch this. It's the first time I've ever put anything on YouTube. There is hope. There is hope, and I'm living proof of this. I literally went from nearly dying, losing everything, to having this amazing life that I've always wanted. I had to work really hard for it, and you will have to work really hard for it, and I'll have to deal with this every single day for the rest of my life if I want to stay clean and sober. So if you're given an opportunity to go into rehab, I say take it. Grab it with both hands. Do not waste it, because time flies by in there. When you come out, go to meetings, go to AA, do NA, build up a new support network, because there is a life after addiction. Might not feel like it if you're stuck in there now and you're watching this and you're thinking, oh, look at this guy babbling on about shit. Yeah, probably am. But it works. It really does work. If you surrender and you fight and stop fighting the process of recovery, you can do this. For me, I have to be honest about everything. I've got moaning here going on. I have to be honest about everything in my life. I have to be honest every day, not just to myself, but to others. Honesty is my key to keeping me clean. So if I'm lying to myself, I'm already doing a relapse in my head already. I'm already down that road without even thinking about picking up. So just find recovery. Find it. Live it. Love it. Breathe it. Whatever. It's yours if you want it. Hope you don't mind me doing this video. I hope at least someone listens to it or someone gets something from it. All the best. and good luck.